Thanos is far from the only character in the Marvel Universe to wield the Infinity Gauntlet. In fact, there have been 16 characters that have worn the Gauntlet in the comics, and today I'm gonna run them down. Of course, we all know number 1 on the list is Thanos. He wielded the Gauntlet several times, starting with the Infinity Gauntlet storyline in 1991. Thanos was able to wield the Gauntlet, and trying to impress death, he destroys half of all life to bring balance to the universe. However, in that storyline, Nebula was able to wield the Gauntlet and undo everything that Thanos had done. Thanos had just defeated a few Celestials, Galactus, and the very embodiment of the universe, Eternity. Thanos, after defeating Eternity, pretty much became the new embodiment of the universe and the center of reality, which left his body lifeless, giving Nebula a chance to quickly take the Gauntlet from his hand, and as I said, turn everything back the way it was, leaving Thanos floating through space. However, the Avengers and Adam Warlock weren't happy with Nebula having the Gauntlet, and this led Doctor Strange to teleport Thanos back to Earth, because they realized that as bad as he was destroying half the universe, Nebula's tortured mind probably isn't strong enough to wield the Gauntlet, and that she may destroy all of reality. So it's Adam Warlock's idea to get Thanos to help them. However, predictably, Thanos doesn't really do much to help them, but it's the third person to wear the Gauntlet, being Adam Warlock, who is able to disrupt the Infinity Gauntlet by entering the Soul World within the Soul Stone, and somehow call out to the other 5 Infinity Stones. And as mentioned, this causes the Infinity Gauntlet to misfire enough that Nebula is forced to throw it from her hand. Thanos tries to pick up the Gauntlet, but he can't before Adam Warlock does, and Adam Warlock ends the conflict and promises to use the infinite power of the Gauntlet wisely. This leads us to number 4 on the list of people who've worn the Infinity Gauntlet, and that of course is Magus. Now Magus is the evil future version of Adam Warlock that was thought to have been destroyed when the timeline was changed during events before the Infinity Gauntlet storyline. However, they find that he is still in existence, and in the meantime the good Adam Warlock has established a team called the Infinity Watch, who is charged with protecting the Infinity Stones. The Infinity Watch came into being in the aftermath of the Infinity Gauntlet storyline. Adam Warlock was accused by Eternity not to be worthy of the Gauntlet and its power. The Living Tribunal ruled in favor of Eternity, and the outcome is that Adam Warlock cannot wield the Gauntlet, and in fact that the Infinity Stones are prevented from acting as one by the Living Tribunal. So Adam is charged with creating a team that will protect the Infinity Stones and the Gauntlet. This team is known as the Infinity Watch, and he gives each member of the Infinity Watch an Infinity Stone, and he himself retains the Soul Stone. So basically Magus gets the full Infinity Gauntlet, but due to the Living Tribunal's ruling that the stones can't work as one, it doesn't work as one until Galactus gets the Living Tribunal to change his ruling. The Infinity Gauntlet starts working again in Magus's hand, only for Eternity and Infinity to combine into a single entity and defeat him. Eternity then says, okay, this is no good, the Infinity Stones cannot work together anymore. Number 5 on the list is the Silver Surfer Norrin Radd, taken from Marvel's awesome What If title, issue number 49. What if the Silver Surfer possessed the Infinity Gauntlet? Well, I'll tell you what he would do. He would restore everything the way it was, and not only that, he would make sure that there was no disease, no hunger, no hatred, no war. He even destroys Mephisto so that there is no evil in the universe. Doctor Strange brings back Norrin Radd's love, Shalaval. Norrin realizes the only way they can truly be together is if she is his equal, and she tries to tell him that the power of the Gauntlet is too much to handle. They fight, and Norrin is sickened that he would actually fight his love, and he realizes that the Gauntlet is actually too much power to handle, and he destroys himself, his love, and the Gauntlet in a noble act of sacrifice. Okay, on to the next one. This takes place in the JLA, yep, the JLA, Justice League of America / Avengers storyline, giving us our number 6, and that is Darkseid. Yes, Darkseid wields the Infinity Gauntlet. However, this storyline teaches us something important about the Gauntlet, and that is that it does not function in other realities. So it doesn't function in the DC universe. So this also answers the question in the movie about when Thanos snaps his fingers, did he only destroy life in our reality? And that is yes. In other words, the snap didn't affect life in other realities, such as in the quantum realm. Then in the same story, once Darkseid throws the Gauntlet away, Quicksilver and Flash race to grab it before anyone else. And of course, the first of the speedsters to get to the Infinity Gauntlet was the fastest of the speedsters, and that is the Flash! In this instance, it was the Wally West version of the Flash. He only holds on to it for a second though before it's teleported away. Number 8 is Reed Richards. Mr. Fantastic is one of the members of the Illuminati. Other members of the Illuminati include Namor, Black Bolt, Professor Xavier, Doctor Strange, and Iron Man. Reed Richards is given the stone by She-Hulk, and he was able to use the Power Stone to locate another 2 stones at first, because he says the stones no matter how far apart they are, they can speak to each other, and that they may be alive and that they are definitely sentient. The remaining 3 Infinity Stones are drawn to the others and the Gauntlet, so Reed Richards has got the Gauntlet and it's full of the 6 Infinity Stones, and he's clearly tempted to use that infinite power. The other members of the Illuminati tell him to take it off, but he resists, leading to the Watcher Uatu appearing and intervening, which is unusual of course for Watchers because they normally just watch. And he tells Reed that the Gauntlet was not meant for man, and he warned him that if he tried to wield it, he would destroy everything. Now Reed did give up the Gauntlet, but before he did, he tried to will the Gauntlet out of existence, but that didn't work, and it's seemingly the only limitation on its power. They then dismantle the Gauntlet and divide up the Infinity Stones to each member of the Illuminati for safekeeping. Number 9 is Black Panther. He fights the almost omnipotent Dr. Doom and defeats him, putting him back in Latveria, and he fixes his face. What a happy ending. That was in Secret Wars issue 8. Number 10 is Dr. Doom himself in FF number 14. So basically, Reed Richards has created a whole Council of Reeds situation, like the Council of Ricks, and to a lesser extent the Council of Wells on the Flash. So anyway, the Celestials had destroyed the Council, but Reed had created several Infinity Gauntlets across several universes. So Doom sacrifices himself fighting the Celestials and wakes up in the ruins of the Council of the Reeds, of the Richards, and finds 2 Infinity Gauntlets. Now remember, the Gauntlets can only work in the universe to which they belong. And number 11 is another one of those awesome what-if storylines, and this time it's Norman Osborne. He tracks down all the stones and he makes a new Gauntlet. He uses the Gauntlet at first to win a battle, and then he forces his father to be proud of him. Thanos appears on the scene trying to get the Gauntlet, as he does, and he kills one of Norman's henchmen. This causes Norman to flip out and become the Green Goblin. So as the Green Goblin, he still has the Gauntlet on his hand, and he turns Thanos to dust so that he ceases to exist. Serves you right, Thanos. Then his father says something that he doesn't like, and he also turns him to dust, which is a little bit of a stupid thing to do because that's your father, you idiot. If your father doesn't exist, then you can't exist. And so ended the Green Goblin, floating in space. Number 12 is Peter Parker. Spider-Man, in the 4-part Avengers and Infinity Gauntlet comic, manages to catch the Gauntlet after Hulk, Ms. Marvel, and Wolverine manage to get it off Thanos' hand. He puts it on and simply wishes that Thanos never got the Infinity Stones, and voila, everything back to normal. So simple. 13 is Iron Man. In Avengers Volume 4, Issue 12, Parker Robbins, aka the Hood, tried to take over the Marvel Universe. He's imprisoned by the Avengers and managed to escape and goes after the Infinity Stones, as one does. They were hidden by the Illuminati, however, he manages to find 3 of them, which he just holds in his hand. Parker Robbins is attacked by the Avengers, who are trying to get the stones back. He jumps into the astral plane. He meets a person that he thinks is Thanos. Thanos tries to bargain with him, however, it's actually not Thanos, it's Doctor Strange, who had been using an illusion spell. He ejects the Hood from the astral plane, and the Red Hulk punches him with the Power Stone in his hand. And he punches him so hard that he drops all but one of the Infinity Stones, the Reality Stone. In desperation, he starts to mess with reality because he doesn't care about saving people, only about what he can get. And then suddenly, we see Tony Stark's Iron Man with the Infinity Gauntlet and all the Infinity Stones in them. Reed Richards, Mr. Fantastic, explains that the Infinity Stones talk to each other and that they want to be as one in the Gauntlet. Again, pointing to the fact, like I've said in previous videos, the Infinity Stones are sentient. Iron Man with the full Infinity Gauntlet contemplates creating a world without war, hate, jealousy, but decides that that wouldn't be the world in which we live and that no one would learn and progress. He even considers bringing his father back and Jarvis, but instead, all he does is 2 things. Firstly, he puts Parker Robbins, the Hood, back in prison. And secondly, he uses the Gauntlet to wish the Infinity Stones and the Gauntlet out of existence. But then on the next page, we find out that Tony actually didn't wish it out of existence and he just hid the Gauntlet. And the Illuminati each take one of the stones. And Cap tells them that this time, they should find better hiding places. Who wields the Infinity Gauntlets within the Ultimate Universe? The Hulk and evil Reed Richards are freed by Kang. Now, the way the stones worked in the Ultimate Universe was interesting in that there were 2 gauntlets and 8, not 6 stones, so 4 on each gauntlet. The extra 2 stones are not actually named, but one of them was taken out of Tony's head. Literally, taken out of his head by evil Reed Richards. So I don't think we'll ever know what the other 2 stones were called because, you know, the Ultimate Universe is no more. Coming in at number 15 then, of course, is Deadpool. In Deadpool issue 45, it shows that Deadpool was around for the events of the original Infinity Gauntlet comic and that Thanos had hired him to steal the gauntlet. Deadpool puts on the Gauntlet of Ultimate Power And what does he do? He gets all the heroes to roast him. And anyway, so then there's Captain America. In the events before Secret Wars, the Illuminati faced a serious situation, as they always do. The main Earth, Earth 616, was on a collision course with an alternate Earth. So the Illuminati decided that one of the members should wield the Infinity Gauntlet in order to stop this terrible event from happening. And of course, this person was Captain America, Steve Rogers. But however, the power of the gauntlet was so vast that it actually exploded. And finally, I've saved something for last. I was gonna say the best, but it's really not. And it's not a joke, it's Santa Claus. In the Marvel Holiday Spectacular in 2009, Santa's reindeer was revealed to be a Skrull. The Illuminati loaned Santa the gauntlet to make sure that despite the Skrull imposter reindeer, that he would be able to deliver all those presents from his nice list. However, as with most who wield the gauntlet, it drove poor Santa insane. So what do you think of all the characters who've wielded the Infinity Gauntlet in the comics? Are there some that surprised you? And how much money would you pay to see a DC Marvel Universe crossover? And who do you think could wield the Infinity Gauntlet in Avengers 4? My money's on Captain America or Iron Man. Not Santa. Not Santa. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like it and then share it. Please also subscribe to the channel and make sure you enable notifications to make sure that you don't miss out on any crafty media content. Thanks a lot for watching. Cheers for now.